Hey guys, this is Kal-El, and today we have a video review of the TFC Toys Exgraver from the Hercules Combiner set. Now this is a third party item, so it's kind of limited numbers, but if you can get your hands on it and you've got the money, I definitely recommend picking this guy up. And before we have a look at the figure, we'll just have a quick look at the box. Okay guys, here's the box. You can see on the front here, nice lovely clear bubble, awesome artwork here, Hercules Exgraver, and on the side we got some really cool artwork. Again on the back, Hercules Exgraver up the top, nice picture of Hercules there, and Exgraver himself. Collect all 6 members to create the mighty Hercules. That's the plan. On the back, just a few details here, and that's the box. Okay guys, we've got Exgraver back here. Let's have a look at a few of the details, the articulation in alt mode, and then we'll move on to transformation. Alrighty, first thing we'll do, we'll just take these guns off the top here for now. Put them aside. Now, it's very green. Very, very green. Bit of purple in there as well. Now, I'm not sure if this shows up on camera, but this green has a nice metallic-y sort of flake through it. Very nice. Purple's just a plain purple moulded plastic. Again, very nice. We've got some nice blacks, almost a grey black with the vents here. On top, some lovely silver checker plating. Bit of silver here. Again here, plenty of painted details on this guy. Up on the shovel arm here, we've got the hydraulic pipes. They've been painted in silver. Just a black shovel, but that looks fine. On the front, I'll move that shovel out of the way for you. On the front, you can see there's some black here. Now, unfortunately, that's actually the fists from robot mode. I wish they did something here to cover that up, but hey, not complaining too much. It's pretty awesome. Tracks, just black with a little bit of purple painted in there. That's pretty cool. As for articulation in this mode, the shovel arm will move all the way up, all the way down, and the front section here will bend forward, and the shovel will go in and out. And also got some faux hydraulic rams there. They're pretty cool. And that's about it. He does roll. Just got some little fake wheels under here to give him that rolling effect. Okay, now let's have a quick look at a size comparison in this mode, and what better than Revenge of the Fallen version. Alright, here we have Exgraver next to Revenge of the Fallen. I think it was Demolisher. Could be wrong. As usual, don't really care. But you can see they're roughly a similar sort of size. The Revenge of the Fallen version's a bit bulkier, but overall I like the TFC Toys version a lot better. From the front, you can see it's a lot narrower with the tracks actually under the body of the main cab, where this one they're a bit more spread out. They're a slightly different type of construction vehicle, but they're portraying the same character. And other side and the back. Alrighty, and just for something else I'll bring in, and there he is with Generations Cup, just to give you another sort of size comparison there. And funny enough, he's a ute, so you could have him, you know, doing all that sort of work. Oops, that's not meant to pop off. Well, it is, but we'll see. So there's the size comparison. Let's have a look at the transformation. Okay guys, for the transformation, first thing we do is we take this shovel arm off. Just has a peg there, plugs in there. We'll just put that aside for the moment. First thing you do, come down the bottom here. Just in here, I'll just show you a bit closer, that little grey peg. Just pop that track off of there, both sides. And this section here, which will become the crutch, just flip that right up to the top. Okay, and then rotate all the way around. These 2 grey pieces, just pop them in, and they fold it away. Flip him over, and you can already see we're started to get the legs. Purple piece here, flip that up. Now on the legs, to get the feet out, you can see in here we've got just a little sort of groove. They can be a bit difficult to get out, and they work like a ratchet, so both pieces move together. Easy. Same on the other side. This one a bit tighter. Pop that out. Okay, so there we have his legs. Now, come up to the top here. Big hand there. That's alright. Now, with the arms, just pop them out. Pop them out. All the way up. Both sides. Grab this section here. And it untabs from this black piece here. You can see those two tabs. So that just comes down, and once you've done that, turn the arms around, and also the fists, and again on both sides. Now you'll notice on this one that the cab pieces here, this is one of the only parts forming bits on this, so just put that down for a moment, rotate the hand. Okay, now at the moment here's a hand head. That's a bit weird. You can remove this. I just choose to leave it on the back just to save one less part being floating around. Pull it back, tuck the hands in, and just fold it up. So I'll just get that back there, around the front, and just flip the head. Okay guys, there's Exgraver transformed. Now, one of the things we took off there was this little cab piece. What I like to do with that, just on the back here, on the bottom of that piece that supports the hand, I just slot that up into there. Just keeps it out of the way. Yeah, he's got a little bit of a backpack, but it doesn't affect him too much. And there he is. So the hand from here doesn't look too bad, it's just a little sort of lump back there. As I said, you can take it off, just slots into here, and you can just fold that up. Cab sort of sticks out, so either way you end up with a little bit of a backpack. But as I said, I just like to leave that guy sitting in here and have the fist on there, just so it's one less part floating around. Okay, let's have a look at a few of the details. The first thing I noticed with this guy is the light piping on this head. It is awesome. Looks like he's on fire. Now, all of the toys in this line have awesome light piping like this. Now, it's due to the fact that the head itself, if I can turn it around, is just this big plastic red piece with the actual faceplate slotted over the top. So you get some really cool light piping, and it doesn't end up with quote unquote dead eyes. So that's really cool. Again, we've got purple carried over here, as most Constructicons have. Ignore Revenge of the Fallen. And some silver paint here. The abdomen pipes. It's a bit weird. Have some nice silver. Again, a little bit of that gunmetal-y greyish black colour down on the crutch to break that up. Silver here. That same blackish grey on the hands. Nice detailing up here. On the back, obviously, we have this carried over from the vehicle mode. Push that back in. Now, as for articulation, I assume that these are meant to rotate 306 degrees. The problem is, on mine, when it rotates up, it looks like it's separating this little piece in here. You can see that sort of lifts there. So I don't want to force it. Now, if someone can comment on that and let me know if theirs is the same, that would be great. But this one, it seems to only rotate that much. Unfortunate, but not a big issue. We have a bicep rotation, an elbow. Now, these are floating elbows. The elbow doesn't bother me too much as it's at the front of the arm, and you know, it may bother you, but that's again a personal preference thing. We have a wrist swivel due to the transformation. We have a waist swivel, which is not quite nice, and due to the transformation he can tilt his pelvis, so if you want him to be in some weird sort of pose, you can do that. Now we have a ball jointed hip, can get full movement out of the hip both ways. That will also go down, and that's part of the transformation, but it's up to you if you wanted to play with that. You have an upper thigh swivel, a full knee, 180 degrees. Now again, floating knee. This one I don't like so much, because as soon as he bends his knee, he has a great big hole in his leg. Bit weird, but again, not a lot you can do with it, just due to the fact that what his leg is made of. And you kind of have a bit of foot articulation due to the transformation of the foot, but it only really sort of peaks up and down. There's not a lot you can do with that. So that's your articulation. Oh, and we have a full movement of the head. So you can get him in some sort of gazing poses, if you wish. Okay, now we had the shovel arm from before. You can use this as a, I suppose, weapon, but mainly it's just an accessory, so I tend to leave it aside, but you can plug it in to the arm of the robot, and you can have him have a bit of an arm. I wish this was in 3D, that'd be really cool. And you can swing that around. But as I said, I personally don't like to have that on. So we'll just put that aside, and there we are. Now, for a size comparison in robot mode, I will bring back in. Okay, there you have Revenge of the Fallen piece of crap next to TFC Toys Exgraver. Now you can see the piece of crap is slightly larger, but he also is a piece of crap. So, for the sake of improving this review, now for something more appropriate, we have the War for Cybertron Soundwave, who is a deluxe figure. So you can see Exgraver is more of a Voyager class figure just by bulk and sort of height and size. But, you know, they're a pretty good scale if you want to put them in your classics line, as they are a construction vehicle, so you would imagine them slightly bigger. There you go, that's just an easy. We'll have a quick look at just transforming him back. I won't explain the steps, you can just sort of watch me do it. So with this guy, he has a fairly simple transformation. Nothing too extreme. Once you've done it a couple of times, I find this bit I'm doing right now is the most fiddly, just getting this hand out of the way. Come up to the top here. We just peg that together. So as I said, that's the most fiddly bit I find. But it's all pretty straightforward on this guy. Again, once you've done it a couple of times, he becomes pretty basic. And when I first got him, these little grey bits here, I had a little bit of trouble getting out, but they seem to be pretty good now. Remember to put your little cab piece on here, bring your shovel back across and plug that in. There, have him back in. So I'm sure you're all pretty curious to see the combine mode, or limb mode. Well, that's what I'm going to call it anyway. So again, it's pretty simple on these guys. The thing you can do is just get this hand and pull that out of the back there. Now, you can see you're left with that head sitting there. Don't worry about that, because with the shovel, rotate that right around, make sure it's plugged in all the way, and that will fold up flush and cover that head up. With the tracks, pop them off those little grey pieces again, and a little bit of wriggling, pop those back in, and bring that crutch piece from before all the way down. Now, when I was speaking about the articulation, I showed you this little joint here. What you're going to do with that is pull that all the way down, and the legs, you can see here, there's little tabs in here, they all will slot together. Just line all of that up like that, and bend those knee joints, and now you can see where that floating knee joint comes in. So that shoots around like that. Rotate that to the side, you can see we're coming together here. This handpiece, all you're going to do is put these two little pegs into the same place that the legs clipped onto these joints here. So just separate that hand, pegs into there, so you can see it on this side here, that joint right there, pegs in, all firmly together, and then you can see when I put the camera up, a very large arm. So that's Hercules' arm. Very cool. So you can see there, that shovel covers that head up perfectly. Now, the joint for the shoulder is just hidden in there. Very heavy ratchet joint, as you could hear. And it's quite articulated, but we'll see more of that when we get to the actual review of Herschel. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty much a look at TFC Toys Exgraver, who's part of the Hercules team. Very good toy. It is a bit pricey. I got this one from Robot Kingdom for $80. Mind you, I did buy all 6 of them in one hit, so I saved a bit on postage. But we'll talk about that a little bit more later. The only problems I really have with this toy, as I said, those fists can be seen at the front there, and the floating knees. Other than that, it's a very, very cool toy. Now, Repro Labels do a sticker kit for this. I'll probably pick that up, and I'll do a little supplemental review on all the figures once I've got that. Okay, thanks for checking out my review. Check me out on Twitter and on Facebook. Feel free to see some of my older videos. Again, this has been Kal-El.